Hello everyone. Let's talk about Dedicated SQL Pool in this video. What is Dedicated SQL Pool, how it works, and I'm gonna do a quick demo about Dedicated SQL Pool. So we'll be familiarized about these topics. Dedicated SQL Pool is a type of SQL that available in Azure Synapse. In Azure Synapse, there is two types of SQL available. One is serverless, another is dedicated. We have a separate video, serverless, what is serverless SQL and what is dedicated SQL. I have covered in other video about the serverless SQL. So serverless SQL is basically inbuilt SQL. We don't have to create it, and this is useful to query data from CSV, JSON, and Parquet files. Basically, this is an external. We can create external table to view the data from CSV, JSON, and Parquet file. That is something serverless table. But dedicated SQL is basically used for data warehousing purposes. It support daemon fact table. This is charge per hour, and we can update or scale based on DWU based on our need, right? So with that being said, I'm going to quickly talk about a little bit more about the Dedicated SQL Pool and how it works, right? Dedicated SQL Pool again is a supported data warehousing activity for relational database management system, and this is massively parallel process. When we say the massively parallel process, what that mean, right? So massively parallel process is something like this. This is Dedicated SQL Pool architecture. So there will have the control node in this pool, and whenever user request send any request, it will go through all the compute node. Its compute node will be parallelly behind the scene. It is going to process. So the Dedicated SQL Pool is massively parallel process, so it is faster, and it is high performer. Also, it is scalable thing. So we just say my Dedicated SQL Pool is massively parallel process, and the data has are stored in Azure storage. So like not the other compute resource is going to store in storage in relational format itself, and data is stored in distributed manner. Basically, there are the 60 distribution by default on this Dedicated SQL Pool. Since this Dedicated SQL Pool and designed for data warehousing, which is nothing but DIM and fact table, this distribution process also they have just three different kind of distribution process they design. One is hash distribution, another is a replicate distribution, another is a round robin distribution. Round robin distribution is best for a staging table, and this distribution randomly distribute their compute. Hash is even distribution, like it's gonna distribute their storage in evenly, and best for large table or fact tables, just for fact table. And for dim table or lookup table, there will be replicate distribution, which is copied to the the node to the all node. So basically there is three different type of data distribution mechanism on Dedicated SQL Pool. Since this is for data warehousing purposes, it will support indexing. Where if we have less than 60 million or around 60 million data, they acts to the cluster index. If there is more than 100 million record, column cluster is suitable, and also it support the heap table as well for the small table. And I will do the demo how to copy, how to create the table in this Dedicated SQL Pool. We have the option called create the external table. We also have the option called to create copy into table. We also can do create table as like a view, or like a temporary table called the CTEs, things like that. Also, it support the insert into statement. It support a merge SQL and many other. So basically, Dedicated SQL Pool is just like our regular. Everything is most of the thing is support from our on-prem SQL, that we can say for here. So this again, the one thing to note is Dedicated SQL Pool does not support foreign key. It is not the OLTP system. This is analytics database, right? So analytics database foreign key may not require. Instead of foreign key, it will have the alternate key. I'll quickly show you when I do a demo what is alternate key and how alternate key can work as a foreign key on dimension table. So alternate key will be the part of the dim table. When to use dedicated SQL pools? The best to use dedicated SQL pool if we have TB or PB size of data, terabyte, more than terabyte size of data is the best to use. If you have the less data set, and dedicated SQL pool may not be useful. Good for enterprise data warehousing, and also it support thousands of concurrent users, so there will not be a issue for multiple concurrent user. So those are the thing. Also it has a large scale aggregation, since it has a distributed node parallel process. It will handle that aggregation and joins and things like that. Okay, next step is a best practice, right? So how to optimize the dedicated SQL pool. For the optimization, there's couple of item we can see. Like if you do not use the dedicated SQL, we can pause it, right, to save some cost. Um, we can pause if we do not need it. We can rotate the key for the security. There is an option for storage security. Similarly, we can do the bulk insert instead of small insert on dedicated SQL pool. We can use the materialized views. They recommend the materialized views. They recommend partition for the very large table, very small, not too many partition, but by date or things like that. Couple of. They recommend column star index, which we are very familiar with it. And they also recommend to optimize the data distribution, which is nothing but hash, round robin, and replicate. So we will be using hash distribution on a fact table, replicate distribution on dim table, and round robin for the staging table. We will be optimized. Be careful with those distribution. That can be manual. Whenever we create the table, we have to add those information and that table. Next, I will be demoing SQL pool. The first, I will quickly show you how to create the dedicated SQL pool, and next I will perform some copy activity, some create table age, also some merge SQL through the dedicated SQL pool. With that, let me go to my Synapse Studio or SQL Studio, and I'm gonna open Synapse Studio, right? Because it's why Synapse Studio. Within Synapse, the Synapse is already there. We have Synapse. Within the Synapse, I have the Studio. I need to click on this open button. Once I open button, Synapse Studio will be open. It should not take longer time. While this is opening, I can quickly, this is Synapse, right? Within Synapse, if I go to the manage tab, I can see there is a two SQL, serverless versus dedicated. Serverless is online, the dedicated is on pause mode at this time. If I click on this resume button, it will be resume. When this is pausing, if I go to the data tab right here and then click on workspace, we have a dedicated SQL pool here in the server, dedicated SQL server. If I drop down the table, I will not be able to see the tables because this is on pause stage. It's going to be broke. Basically, when the pool is paused, we cannot access database. We cannot do any activity. So until we that pool has been resumed, is working right now. It takes minute or so to resume. At this time, I can show you a couple of things. This is workspace, which is our regular SQL. And then there is a link where we can save the files. Our file will be in here in data lake. So when we upload the file in data lake, those data lake will be automatically integrate with here. So right now I have what I have, let me see, this file. I have and data folder. With this data folder, I have customer table and product table, product CSV file. The next, I'm gonna load this file in dedicated SQL pool. I'm gonna show you how to load it, and I also show couple of items. Now, once the dedicated SQL pool resume, right? Okay, so what this is still resuming. I went to the data tab. I show you the files. I show you this table. Before, while we're waiting for this dedicated SQL pool to resume, I can go to you and I can show you how to create the dedicated SQL pool quickly, right? So you can search dedicated SQL pool. Dedicated SQL pool, formerly known SQL data warehouse, and then once it's created, you can, if you want to create the dedicated SQL, you can click on plus button here, or you can click on create here as well. It's the same thing. I click on plus button, and I have to create the resource group if I do not have any other resource. But let me create the new resource group for this. Let's say Dilip RZ is my resource. And what I'm going to do, SQL pool name, I'm going to give, I want dedicated SQL pool, and then I don't think I have a server, so I have to create the server. It's going to be just create a new server. Server name is, let me see, here server one. Server can all lowercase. Okay. And then I'm gonna have EastVS. I'm gonna use authentication. Since I'm not gonna use, I'm gonna keep the intra only authentication. Optionally, you can do not selected. Set admin. Let me set admin for this. Let me set my name. Somebody else. Like, let me just check. Let me just these people as admin. And then click on OK. And then I can go to the networking. I can have public private access. Let me do public access endpoint. I can have allow the service resume this tier yes, and IP address yes, and what else? Additional setting. I can do start with free trial. I can do the not now for now, and then I can go to the tag option, and I can don't need to do anything. I can review and create. Okay, deployment. So this is what the Dedicated SQL pool is creating, right? And there is performance level. So if I go to the basic again, we also need to check the performance level. So in this performance level, if you select the performance level, we can change the performance level from 100C DWC to I think the maximum DW 30,000 C. So based on that, this capability, the pricing will be determined. So if you choose more performance, your per hour is more. If it is less, per hour cost is less, and things like that, right? So this is how you will be creating the Dedicated SQL pool. Let me unsave this, and I'm gonna go to since it's already created Dedicated SQL pool, and the Dedicated SQL pool is up. I am going to go to the data tab, and then I'm gonna refresh my server. As soon as I refresh the server, I should be able to see the table, list of table right here. And then table I have is all daemon fact table right here, because this is our data warehousing table. So now since it is going, I'm gonna make a new script. So what I'm gonna do here is let me quickly run bring select star from stage product table. Let me run this state product table. I do not have any data on this table. Actually, I have loaded on this data. Let me truncate this actually. Truncate table, and then select star or select county star, right? Basically, it's the same thing. It's truncated now. I do not have any data, so don't have any data. Zero record should be in there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a new query window on this server. Let me go and create a new empty script, and then I'm gonna bring right here as a copy into script. So in this copy strict, I just show you the stage product table. I truncated. I'm gonna bring the data from this file. So this file is basically product table. This file. So this file is our file. So I'm gonna bring data into that file. So the one thing I have to do is I have to change this location as its default location XXX. So I have to find the actual file path location. So if I go here, I can go to the resource group, and then can go to here, and if I select this data storage, basically data lake, this storage name actually data lake, and then this created thnlwb, right? This is what my data storage name is. So I'm going to copy that part, and then I'm going to replace that into here, control V. So now this path is valid. In the data lake, this path blob in window file data, and if I run this now, I should be able to copy the data from that file. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is, since I copy the 11 record in dim staging table. Let me this is staging table. This is first work I have done. I have bring the data from the file. Next, I'm going to create the new window again, a new window, and I'm gonna create dim product table from that stage table. So right here, I am creating the dim table, create the dim table using hash distribution, hash using a product alternate key as a distributor key, and cluster index for that column. And then first column is this. I'm gonna select the data from here and create the table dim product. If I run this, dim table, this dim product table should be created. There is already object. Okay, since I have already created, I have to drop that table, right? Ruby drop DABL table. So let me run now. Okay. Okay, query executed successfully. Now, if I run select star from from this dim product table, I should be able to see those 11 table. And these are like you see the product alternate key. These are acting as a we are bringing from the staging table directly. This is product ID and bringing as an alternate key, and this will work as our foreign key and things like that for relationship. One last item I'd like to show you is merge statement, right? So if I open the new query window again and bring it here, I have, I have something SCD1, SCD2. SCD1 is basically update statement for the particular thing. SCD2 is basically we are keeping a history on the new column or new rows, right? So we can do this kind of activity as well using Dedicated SQL Pool. Similarly, if I create, once we have the new larger data set inserted or updated, we can update the statistics, right? We can update the statistics, or I'm sorry, what's happened here? So this is I tried. Okay, let me bring that again. You can rebuild the index or rebuild the statistics and things like that. So these are those items I would like to show you, and I have shown you about the dedicated SQL pool. So what we have done, we are in first step, there is was no data on this table. We bring the data from the file directly on stage table, and then we create a dim table, and we perform the SCD1, SCD2, SCD3 table for this demo. And this is all happen through the dedicated SQL pool. And we can do more using this, but for this video, this is all I would like to share as a part of the dedicated SQL pool learning. So if you have any question about the dedicated SQL pool, please feel free to ask. But for now, I think this is all that I wanted to cover about this dedicated SQL pool. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.